Welcome to the first staging of our virtual prize giving and 60th anniversary celebration. Under the theme, Celebrating Our Success, Thriving During Waves of Change. As you are aware, this is the first time this platform is being used to celebrate with our stakeholders in this occasion. To the Board of Management, headed by Bishop Christine Bengushe, Chairperson Mr. Garth Russell, specially invited guests, members of staff, students, we acknowledge your presence. We extend warm welcome to those joining us via YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. This is a time for us to gather and reflect on the accomplishment of our students. Let us use this time of celebration to give thanks to God, our Creator and our Savior, whose presence is always needed. Let us be guided by these words from Paul to the Philippians chapter 3, verse 14, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. As we reflect on another year, let us thrive through the waves of change and allow God to take us through the many challenges that life has to offer. I now declare and call to order the opening of this, our first virtual prize giving and 60th anniversary celebration. May God bless you all as we acknowledge God always, and may He direct our path. Thank you.
Our board chair, Bishop Christine Gooden Bengushe, our vice chair, Mrs. Mary Lewis, the school's chaplain and preacher for today, Reverend Abbasalam Smith, other members of the Board of Management, the chairperson of this extraordinary function, Mr. Garth Russell, guest speaker, Mr. Hector Wheeler, acting vice principal, Miss Claudia Johnson, other distinguished guests, our partners and key stakeholders, Parent Teachers Association led by Miss Tamika Small. Today marks a significant and historic milestone of the life of Morant Bay High School. Today, we begin our year-long celebration as we highlight not only our annual Founders Day and prize-giving ceremony, but as we give thanks to God for allowing us to stand firm as an institution for 60 fruitful years. With that said, I would love to acknowledge all those individuals who are sharing with us as key stakeholders as well as supporters. I extend welcome on behalf of our esteemed and revered institution to our board chair, Bishop Christine Gooden Bengushe, our vice chair, Mrs. Mary Lewis, The school's chaplain and preacher for today, Reverend Absalom Smith, other members of the Board of Management. The chairperson of this extraordinary function, Mr. Garth Russell. Guest speaker, Mr. Hector Wheeler. Other distinguished guests, our partners and key stakeholders, our Parent Teachers Association led by Ms. Tamika Small, Past Student Association local and international, who are tuned in as we speak, principals of neighboring schools who are always with us, our hard-working and dedicated staff, who never cease to amaze me, the way in which they triumph over challenges and use these situations to build character rather than murmur. My staff includes academic and non-academic members of this school, and for me, they all contribute equally to the effective and efficient operation of this institution. Parents, you have placed your children in our hands, and because of your confidence in us, we cannot help but go the extra mile to ensure success. Without you, there would be no us. Our students, today we salute you for your academic prowess and your attitude towards becoming well-rounded citizens. Enjoy your day today, knowing very well that no one is better than you as an individual, and neither are you better than anyone else. What we know for sure is that we all have varying purposes, and we must aim at accomplishing these and contribute positively to the growth and development of our nation. To other well-wishers and supporters, we welcome you in our celebrations, and please do feel a part of our family. Morant Bay High School has been blessed with individuals who have dedicated their time, their lives, to ensure that we could stand here today in a celebratory mode. We have had leaders who have taught us how to be observant and meticulous. We have had those who instilled strength and vigor and vitality. There were those in their actions who told us that it is okay to be lonely in a crowd. I remember those who said, "Stand tall, sit tall, walk tall." Let us not forget those who helped us to be patient and instilled in us the reminder that our God is in control. As we proceed with our year-long activities, we will be reflecting on our stalwarts, our founders, our base, our foundation, and our core. While our 60 years have been fruitful, I must hasten to say that it was not without its fair share of challenges. But we know very well that life in itself is eclectic, and so we welcome those situations that propel and force us out of our comfort zone into an era of growth and transformation. Currently, and for some time now, we have held the title of being the #1 school in Region 2. We continue to do well academically, and we have repeatedly scored above the national average in major external examinations. But there comes a time when we must ask ourselves, is that good enough? Are we comfortable with that status? Is there more for us to do for our nation's children? Can we extend our mandate to ensure that we change the mindset of our parents, of our children, of our parish, and by extension, our nation? Too often as an institution, we limit ourselves. As individuals, we say we can't without even trying. Why do we defeat ourselves with our very own tongues? As a 60-year-old, mature, polished, prestigious, esteemed and prominent educational institution, Morant Bay High School charges you today to shut down the many lies that have infiltrated those whom we serve. I need you today to join with me as we sever and dissolve the shackles that restrain and prohibit the execution of true potentials. They say we have limitations, so our growth is diminished.
Shut down that lie.
Amen. They say we are in the country. We are deep rural and we are not modernized.
Shut down that lie.
They say our children are not exposed.
Shut down that lie.
They say we are ignorant and we can't measure up, so we are not competitive.
Shut down that lie.
They say we are too small, so we need to hold our corner.
Shut down that lie.
They say, and this hurts the most, that we are forgotten.
Shut down that lie.
Indeed, we will shut down those lies. Our mission is to design and implement effective strategies to facilitate the development of students so that they become well-rounded individuals who impact positively on society and have potential to self-actualize. In an effort to ensure that we live up to our vision and mission, then we must move towards an inclusive partnership, one in which we pool our resources, human and otherwise, and become cognizant that we are better as a united body rather than thinking we can survive alone. I use this opportunity to say to our stakeholders who have not felt in a while that they are a part of our family, come home. We are here with open arms and we need you. There is a place here for you. You have a purpose and your purpose will make us whole. 60 is the diamond year. It also symbolizes family and balance. What is very striking is that it symbolizes beginning. If there is any truth in these symbolism, then we are on the right path. We will continue to seize all opportunities that come our way to enrich and brighten our horizons. We will be that change that transforms. Celebrate our success as we thrive through the waves of changes. May God continue to bless and keep us all. Carpe diem.
The Morant Bay High School, MBHS. The Morant Bay High School has upheld a tradition of quality, discipline, and academic excellence. This institution is a beacon in the parish of St. Thomas. when its gates were first opened in 1960 to let in its first cohort of students, and then officially in 1961. Since those students sat in those rooms in the old manse of the Methodist Church, now, today, there are many rooms on this campus. Morant Bay High School. Students come here to learn. Students leave here as well learned. Today we're here to celebrate, to congratulate, to honor the students who are presently attending the school. We want to say, well done. And they will be given prizes. They will be celebrated the way that they ought to. From first form to the upper sixth form, the prize-giving service of the Morant Bay High School. It is indeed important for us to invite the presence of the Lord to be with us in any activity we are doing. And so our opening prayer today will be done by the Reverend Absalom Smith.
Greetings, students, staff, and parents, and members of the wider Morant Bay High School community. Receive warm greetings in this season in the name of Jesus Christ, our soon-coming King. In this season, we celebrate hope in the midst of despair, joy despite the sadness and mourning in this world where there is a pandemic, peace in an unsettled and unstable world, and faith in a world drenched in doubt and fear. As a school community, we must exist in this world to seize the day. We had to and have been adapting to the winds of change that were sometimes stormy. We have worked hard to preserve the legacy of excellence this institution represents and is planted in the deepest parts of our being. In light of all this, we have been through last year. Truly, God has been good to us. On this day, we give thanks not only for the achievements of this institution of choice in the East, but in particular the high achievers among us. In this, our 60th year since our founding, we celebrate our past and the present. We celebrate you. Let us go to God in prayer. Almighty God, you have been guiding us over these 60 years through many dangers, toils, and snares, through the joys of victory and success, and the pain of defeat and failure. You have kept us as a school for the benefit of all who pass through these gates. We thank you for the many lives that have been touched so far, and for the continued success of our graduates. We are mindful that we did not always get it right, but we have learned from our mistakes and missteps. Forgive us, good Lord, for our moments of complacency and carelessness. Forgive us for our lack of care and compassion. Forgive us for taking you and others for granted. And so, Lord, this time of celebrating our students and members of our community is all to you. May you continue to endow all with the skill and aptitude to achieve their highest potential. Be present with us, Lord, as we continue to serve you in education. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, Creator, Christ, and Comforter, we pray, one God, now and forevermore. Amen.
Thank you, Rev, for that very powerful prayer. The school hymn, Light of the World, will be performed by Miss Kavina Melbourne.
Light of the world, from whom all truth proceeding, dawns on each heart that humbly seeks thy face. Lowly we wait on thee, and thine hand leading, follow thy guidance to thy holy place. In thee, O Lord, had all things their beginning. In thee at last shall all things find their end. Thou knowest all we are knowledge winning, by thee alone its widening bounds extend. How marvelous the wonders thou hast taught us, and still dost teach us each succeeding day. From darkness into light thine hand hath brought us, to fuller light directed all our way. Not ours to know all truth there lies around us, unmeasured heights above and depths below. There would we know thy love and sought and found us, shall teach all else, teach me that we should know.
Beautiful singing, Kavina. Thank you very much. And the words of this song indeed speaks well about the Morant Bay High School. There are persons who have the interest of the Morant Bay High School at heart. Well, all of us have the interest of the Morant Bay High School at heart. But we could not get everyone to come and speak. And so we have two individuals who will do so. The first speaker is the chairman, Bishop Reverend Christine Gooden Bengush.
The pleasure is mine, on behalf of the Board of Governors of the Morant Bay High School, the school of choice in the East, to bring greetings. Acting Principal, Mrs. Marsha Ford Bryan, Acting Vice Principal, Miss Claudia Johnson, Vice Chair of our school board, Mrs. Mary Lewis, Chaplain Reverend Absalom Smith and Reverend Natoya Thomas Smith, Education Officer Mr. Drisdale, other members of the Board of Management, Chairperson for today's function, Mr. Garth Russell, our esteemed guest speaker, Mr. Hector Wheeler, our PTA President, Ms. Tamika Small, Past Students Association, local and overseas chapters who are present with us and on the social media platform, principals and staff of neighboring schools who are sharing with us, the academic, administrative, and ancillary staff of the Morant Bay High School, who continue to selflessly give of themselves for the institution. We appreciate you. Today, I join in extending heartiest congratulations to the students who have, in spite of the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, you have done yourselves proud. You have done your families proud. You have done this nation proud. You have done exceptionally well. And today, you will reap the rewards of your labor through this prize-giving function. Continue to shine. Continue to excel. Success comes through discipline, dedication, and hard work. Like a newborn infant who, after that child continues to grow, in the process of time and maturation, in order to walk, starts by making small steps. And I invite you to continue to make small steps in this ladder that will ultimately lead you to excellence, that will ultimately lead you to the fulfillment of your career goals. We salute you as members of the Board of Management. We salute the hard-working staff who would have expended of their time and their energies and their gifts and graces in order that they could have poured into the development and growth of the students they love and work hard with. We want to thank you as the Board of Management that in spite of the challenges, you never gave up, but you continued to labor. And so today, I say congratulations, and may God continue to bless the Morant Bay High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. From the Ministry of Education, representing Region 2, the Education Officer, Mr. Liebert Drisdale, will give greetings.
Chairman of today's Prize Giving and Founders Day function, members of the Board of Governors, Acting Principal Mrs. Marsha Ford Bryan, Acting Vice Principal Mrs. Claudia Johnston, members of the academic, administrative and ancillary staff, keynote speaker, parents, guardian, members of the PTA, other distinguished guests, students, prize winners, good day. On behalf of Ms. Janet Brim, Regional Services Director, Region 2, Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, I wish to pay tribute to the Board of Management, principal, staff, students, alumni, parents, community and other stakeholders, and indeed all who continue to go beyond the call of duty to make Morant Bay High School a great school. You have weathered many storms. You have the capacity to remain buoyant even when threats are so vivid. Morant Bay High School was founded on Christian principles. It is therefore not surprising that the school demonstrated a resilient spirit in the past. As long as you remain anchored to the Rock of Ages, you will ride out your storms. Congratulations to all prize winners. You have distinguished yourselves as champions by living up to the high standards of the school. Despite the numerous challenges, Morant Bay High School remains the top performing high school in the region for many years. I am confident that you will remain the shining star in the East. Focus on achieving more rather than magnifying the hurdles. Your teachers and parents believe in you and know that you have the capacity to achieve greatness. We're proud to be a part of this celebration of excellence. May the Lord continue to give you the wisdom needed to navigate these turbulent waters of the day. In closing, Isaiah 43 verse 2 from the King James Version says, "When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame be kindled upon thee." May the Lord bless you all. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Drisdale. A reflection. Dr. Emerson Henry will give us his reflection.
Hi, good morning. I'm Dr. Emerson Henry. I'm a dentist and I am an alumni of Morant Bay High School. I attended Morant Bay High School between the years 1964 to 1969. I have very, very fond memories of my time here at Morant Bay High School. One of the significant things that happened to me here is an encounter with a teacher called Mrs. Cynthia Bonner, who went on to become the principal of Seaforth High School. I remember once Mrs. Bonner asked me to adjust the awning by the tuck shop line because the sun was in a position where it was, very hot for the students. There were the cords that are used to adjust the awning were filled with nuts. And I said to Mrs. Bonner, but I can't pull these nuts. She said to me, how many fingers do you have on your hand? I said, 10, miss. She said, if I call somebody else to adjust the awning, how many fingers does that person have? I said, 10, miss. She said, go and adjust the awning. So I went and I fumbled and fumbled until I managed to adjust the awning. And, after doing that, I had a sense of self-worth, a sense of confidence that, hey, I can use my hand. And look at me today. I earn my living by using my hand, Some other memories of Morant Bay High School, I remember I once won a mile race here. And ever since that time, I have been jogging. That has helped me to keep fit. Just the confidence that I gained from, winning my mile race. At the time, during that period of 1964 to 69, it was a great privilege to attend Morant Bay High because it was the only high school in the parish. And so, you had a tremendous sense of self-worth and achievement by being a member of the student body here. We had a very disciplined set of students, when we were passing our teachers on the road, we had to tip our imaginary hats. We used to wear short pants and long socks, so it was quite a sight to see big men with, teenagers with hairy legs in their short pants, coming to Morant Bay High School. I developed some very strong friendships here that I still have today. Mr. Everton Samuels, who lives in Florida, Mr. Fitzroy Gordon, Mr. Winston Phillips, all these guys, were members of my little posse at the time, and we still keep in touch, and we're still great friends. Many of the principals of schools around St. Thomas are past students of Morant Bay High School. Many persons who work in institutions all over the parish are past students of Morant Bay High School. So Morant Bay High School has really contributed significantly to the growth and development of the parish. There are some regrets, though, in that at school we were not encouraged to become business people. We were encouraged to get a qualification and to find a job. And I want to encourage the current students at the school that it's not enough to get a qualification and to go and look for a job. You need to strive to become entrepreneurs and provide jobs for other persons, because you are in fact the intelligentsia and the privileged of the parish. Morant Bay High School has continued to do well academically. I think we hold, like the 13th or 14th position in Jamaica in terms of our academic performance, and we are doing better than many of the big name schools in Kingston and all around Jamaica. So this is something that we should be very proud of. We have had some, checkered experiences with various leaders of the school. Some are very great, some are, not so great. But despite all of that, we have, I think, done very well. And I remain a proud alumni of Morant Bay High School. Thank you very much.
Enlightening, Dr. Henry. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, I want you to sit back and listen to the reflections, the feelings, the statements of a few persons, past students of the Morant Bay High School. Well, I did say past students, but we do have the top awardees for this year. Ms. Spence will speak to the top awardees, while Ms. King will speak with Mr. Michael Coates and Mrs. Joy Bogle-Williams.
My name is Alicia King, and we are here to speak with Mr. Michael Coates. If you're wondering what we're doing, we are celebrating Morant Bay High School's 60th anniversary, and of course, it's our prize giving. We're celebrating under the theme, celebrating our success, thriving during waves of changes. And who better to speak to than a past student of Morant Bay High School, and of course, a teacher who would have taught here, Mr. Michael Coates. Mr. Coates, thank you for joining us.
I thank you, too, for giving me this opportunity of being here.
Of course, awesome. Now, Mr. Coates, you were a past student here. Tell us a little bit about your experience when you were here at Morant Bay High School.
Well, I came to the Morant Bay High School in September 1968. And let me tell you, things were great. In fact, the school was far smaller. There were about 300 of us from first to fifth form, no sixth form at that time.
Right.
30 students in first form, 13 second, 13 third, fourth and fifth. And when I came, let me tell you, the only building that was standing was the science block. That is now the fifth form block.
Right.
All other blocks were out except for some of those buildings that were used around the back for first and second form room and for the music department. The principal's office was the old man's.
Oh, wow.
And the art room was situated beside that. And where we have the office now used to be the principal's home.
Wow.
But over time, things have changed dramatically. Up to the time when I left, we have a population of over 1,300, starting from about 300 with a small staff.
Wow.
Under Mr. Stanley Parkins.
Beautiful history lesson there, Mr. Coates. Now, in sharing all of that, tell me what was your most memorable moment here at Morant Bay High School, either as a student or whilst you were employed here as a teacher?
Well, as a student, I remember when I completed the mural, Mr. Parkins had to declare it open, and he invited the famous artist, now deceased, Mr. Barrington Watson, to declare it open. And the man gave me a handshake. He squeezed my hand.
Wow.
I can feel it right now.
For those of us who don't know, well, I know, for those of them who don't know what the mural is, can you just elaborate a little bit about what you actually painted and where it is and where it still stands today?
The whole concept was a collaborative effort between my art teacher, Mr. Eric Morris, and Mr. Parkins. And it was based on the theme of slavery right up to the time of the Morant Bay Rebellion.
Okay.
And it was a very inspiring moment in history. And it gave me the opportunity to show my personal interpretation of our ancestors fighting, going through basic stages of slavery, from slavery to emancipation, working through to gain freedom and justice for all Jamaica.
Yes. In what year was that mural painted?
It was painted in 1973, 74.
Right, and for those of you who would want to know that that mural still stands today, it is actually on the walls adjacent, well, on the walls of the library. So we know that Mr. Coates would have put in some hard work there for it to be painted from 1973. And if you walk by there, we are still seeing the story, the legacy of the Morant Bay Rebellion that you painted over there. Now, We spoke earlier that you were a teacher here. Tell us about the attitude of the students then, and what do you think about the attitude of the students now?
Well, generally, the attitude of the students was they were deeply interested in learning because at that time, Morant Bay High School was the only high school in the parish, and education was a scarce commodity.
Right.
So every student who came, they were deeply interested in learning because it was a small population of 300 and everyone was deeply interested in learning. And in addition, if you did not pass your exams, that means if you did not achieve the 55% average, right, you had to repeat.
Wow.
And if you failed to get the 55% in the second repetition, you're out of the school.
They were very
all right?
strict.
So you were not here for all the time. You had to perform to reach a certain standard. Now today, some students take it for granted, right? They do not see education as an opportunity, as a privilege, and they tend to waste time. But in those days, it was not so. And today, students need to follow the motto, seize the opportunity for learning.
Yes.
They need to seize it because there are greater opportunities today than in my time.
On that note, Mr. Coates, what is your advice or your wish for Morant Bay High School as we celebrate our 60th anniversary?
Well, I wish for everyone, the board, the academic staff, those who are leading administrative ancillary staff to work together as a unit to sustain the highest standards of learning and preparation, to give the students the advantage of becoming better citizens in Jamaica and in the world.
Thank you so much, Mr. Coates. On that note, on that great encouragement, I would like to thank you so much for taking time out to share with us, to share the history lessons, to share your story, you know, of your time here as a student, and of course, the legacy that you would have left here as a teacher of art at Morant Bay High School. Thank you so much.
I'm privileged to be here and to be interviewed by you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. We are celebrating our 60th anniversary prize giving, and we're celebrating under the theme, Celebrating Our Success, Thriving Through Waves of Changes. I'm speaking with Mrs. Joy Bogle Williams. I said the word Bogle. Are you related to Paul Bogle?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
I am. Paul Bogle's brother, Moses Bogle, is my immediate ancestor.
Wow. You know, I kind of love the story of Morant Bay Rebellion. Earlier, we had a feature where we spoke with Mr. Coates, and he said that he did a mural in honor of the Morant Bay Rebellion. And I don't know if it's a coincidence that we are having you now to share with us, Mrs. Williams, on your time here at Morant Bay High School. So give me a little background into what year you came here and what it was like being at Morant Bay High School.
I came in 1950, when the school just began. I was in the first batch of students. Wow. Yes, it was exciting. We felt privileged. We really felt privileged because, and relieved because most of us would have had to go to schools in Kingston. Oh. So it was, when the school opened, we were very fortunate. And we felt that we had a sense of responsibility because we knew that we had to be on our best behavior. We had to do well academically, right? And we had to be respectful and be well attired and give a good image of the school in public, at home, and ensure that Morant Bay High School was recognized as one of the best in Jamaica. So we felt very privileged, and we had a heavy sense of responsibility.
That's very good. And you know what? I think that they're still carrying on that legacy because we do boast as being one of the best high schools in Jamaica still. You spoke about attire, and I know that now our uniform is green tunic and white blouse, but I get to understand that this has not always been the uniform back then. Can you describe, you know, what the attire was, what the uniform was when you were attending, you know, Morant Bay High School back then?
It was a plaid dress.
Right.
And the boys wore short khaki pants up to third form.
The boys wore shorts.
Shorts, yes, to third form.
Wow. You hear that, boys? Short pants. Tell me about a moment or moments or activities that you would describe as being the best times of your life when you were attending Morant Bay High School, your memorable moments.
There were several.
Wow.
Several. Because Morant Bay High School were very active in sports at that time.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we had a Dennis Smelly who did very well at Eastern Champs and even National Champs.
Nice.
Right? So we were excited. But what I liked best was the cultural aspect.
Oh, nice.
You see, we had a headmaster who was from Wales, and he could really sing. So he insisted that, you know, we were taught to sing. Mm-hmm. And so we had competitions, house competitions. Yes, okay. And we had I. Stedford singing. And then they would take us to the Ward Theatre when musical presentations came down from England. So we're privileged to see opera and all of that. Whoa. Yes, it was really nice.
No, those things, opera, I only hear of those things on TV and watch them on YouTube, but you guys as students got the opportunity to live those moments.
Yes, and musical appreciation was a part of our timetable. We would listen to Bach and Handel and Haydn and Strauss and all of those. Yes.
Those names I will have to Google, so I can't say that I'm not familiar with what you're saying, but I understand that you're saying now that culture, the music, the sports was embedded in students, and I guess that is why a lot of Morant Bay High School students do so well. As we talk about students, though, what do you think, or compare the attitude of students now in comparison to when you were here as a student? How do you think the attitude differ or is similar?
Well, as I said, we felt privileged, and we were very grateful for the opportunities we had. I think today the students, their behavior on a whole is much better than most of the children that I have to encounter. Yes, and yes, there's a certain self-esteem that I pick up among Morant Bay High students, which is very good. They are motivated. And they seem to take their academics very seriously.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Now, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary, of course, and it's prize giving, so you know we're celebrating their success. What advice would you give to these students, or what is your wish for Morant Bay High School?
My wish is that Morant Bay High School will continue to do well and even better, to excel. That the school will continue to be a family.
Right.
Because one of the things that we had in the past was this feeling of family. The students were nurtured, right, and there was unity among the staff, which was obvious, and they were motivated to sacrifice for students. Right. And I wish to thank all the teachers in the past and present who are still sacrificing on behalf of the students.
So earlier you spoke about the fact that you did I. Stedford, and you spoke of different houses and houses competition, and I can see that that was a big thing back then. What were the name of the houses back then?
Sherlock, because I was in Sherlock. Pengele, I don't remember the others.
Pengele, Sherlock.
I don't remember the others. I'm sure about Sherlock.
Oh, and Pengele. Oh. All right, so give me an insight into your educational background. I understand that you came here to Morant Bay High School. You loved it here. Of course, you got to visit the opera in Kingston. But then, after you left here, where did you go? So give me an insight into your educational background and possibly, you know, your career path.
Well, when I left Morant Bay High School, I went to Excelsior for sixth form. Right. Then the University of the West Indies to do a degree in chemistry and applied chemistry. then taught at Excelsior for several years, and then I came to Morant Bay High School for 1 year. Then I went into industry.
Right.
Because what I did at university really fitted me for industry. So I went into industry, agro-processing.
Right.
I worked at Seafood Canning Factory for many years as the manager.
Oh.
Right? Developed products, trained staff and everything. And then I went on to the Scientific Research Council as a food technologist, researching and producing new products. Then back to UE for a master's, and back to Seafood, technical advisor, technical manager for the company.
Yes.
Right? During that time, we were able to get back into the United States, do all of that sort of research and documentation, what have you. Along with assisted, because really Dr. Gordon was the person who was in charge of getting the Aki back into the United States. So we did a lot of work at Seafood. And then I retired, and I'm doing some business.
You're retired. Listen, I'm just sitting here in awe, just listening to all of the different organizations or institutions that you would have worked at, and of course your level of education and the fact that you keep, it's an inspiration for me, and I'm sure an inspiration for students who are here to just keep pushing, keep going. You mentioned that you went to Excelsior for sixth form. Can you elaborate on why you would have gone to Excelsior? Why not somewhere in the parish? What was happening at that time that saw the need for you to be at Excelsior?
Recall that Morant Bay High School was the first high school in the parish, and there was no sixth form available in the parish as a result of that. But Excelsior, like Morant Bay High School, is a Methodist school, so I think an arrangement was made for them to take the students who had qualified for sixth form.
Oh, so it was more of an arrangement between...
Yes, so we went to Excelsior.
Awesome. I would like to use this opportunity on behalf of the Morant Bay High School staff, students, Board of Management to thank you so much for sharing with us Mrs. Joy Williams, descendant of Paul Bogle. I keep saying that because it's so potent, it's so strong that we recognize persons who are contributing and who have contributed to society, not just Morant Bay, not just Morant Bay High School, but nation. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bogle Williams.
Thank you.
Good day. Thank you for joining us. Today we will be interviewing the top students for the academic year 2019-2020. Today we will be interviewing the top students at Morant Bay High School for the different year groups. Here with us today is our top student for first form, Mr. Odari MacDonald. He is also the top student for our institution. Mr. Odari, thank you for being with us today. My first question to you, Odari, is what accomplishments are you most proud of?
Well, I was the valedictorian for licensed primary school. It was amazing, so I am very proud of that. And also, I did very well in the PEP examination. That's why I was the valedictorian. And the fact that we were the first batch to do that exam, and we did so well. Like everyone, not just me, but everybody.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I would see myself in the next 5 years in sixth form, pursuing the sciences, physics, chemistry, within that range.
Okay. And what sparked the interest in the sciences? Is that something that is leading to your career?
I've just always been interested in science, just especially things to do with robots, or even just like a phone or even just a laptop, technical things.
Okay, all right. So what words of encouragement do you have for students who are not excelling academically?
Well, all you need to do, analyze yourself. Look at the subjects that you are failing in and try your best to do better. And don't aim for the prizes, just do your best, because if you aim for the prizes, you might not do as well.
Okay. With me today is Shanice Scott, the top student for second form for the academic year 2019-2020. Shanice, could you please share with us some of the goals that you have?
Okay, so my short-term goal is to get above 85% on all of my exams that I have done recently, and my long-term goal is to get a 4.0 or above that GPA so that I can attend my dream universities.
Okay, thank you for sharing that with us. Now, I noticed you pointed out that you want to attend your dream university. So my follow-up question to that is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see myself as a first-year student in Harvard University or in the Stanford University, pursuing a bachelor's in chemistry or a bachelor's of science in administrative business.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Shanice, what words of encouragement do you have for your peers who are not doing well academically?
My words of encouragement to my peers who aren't doing well academically is that you should work hard, try your best to strive, and you should always keep your eyes on the prize, which is getting high grades in school. You should try to be above average, and they should always remember that whatever their mind can conceive, they can achieve as well.
Thank you so very much for sharing with us today, Shanice, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors. Miss Danae Edwards is one of our top students for the third year group. Danae, can you just share with us an experience that you've had that has significantly impacted your drive for success?
Okay, so in grade 6, when I was leaving school, I was the recipient of the Paul Bogle Scholarship, and before that, I'm not saying I wasn't interested in academics, but I wasn't as interested as I was afterwards. So I think that was an experience that really, propelled me to do better, or encouraged me to do better.
Thank you very much, and congratulations on receiving that award. Danae, my second question to you is, how is your experience at Morant Bay High School preparing you for the future?
Well, the motto of Morant Bay High School is to seize the opportunity, and definitely I will go by that in the future. So I will try my best to take every opportunity that is given to me in life and to make the best out of it.
Okay, my final question, Danae. What words of encouragement do you have for students who are not excelling academically?
Well, I know that it can be very tempting to be on your phones for the entire day, but I am encouraging you to read over your notes, try to read ahead. When you read ahead, you'll find that when the teacher is going over it in class, that's probably a misconception that you might have had. He or she might bring clarity to it. So yes, so just read ahead and read over your notes.
Thank you very much for speaking with us today, Danae.
Your group has 2 recipients for the Top Academic Student Award for the academic year 2019-2020. Earlier, we interviewed Miss Danae Edwards. With me is an individual who is no stranger to the stage for prize giving and Founders Day. I speak of none other than Mr. Romar Bryan. Mr. Bryan, it's my pleasure to interview you. My first question to you, Mr. Bryan, is, what are your goals?
Well, my goals for high school on a whole is practically just to have consistently good grades, consistently good averages. In first form, I thought 90 would be the bar that I would have set for myself to move forward. But, well, in second form, I didn't make 90 both times. So I'm good with 85 at the moment, and it is really important to understand your limits and where you need to be going, and set achievable goals and be proud of the achievements that you've done.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And I do agree, I do concur. So, Mr. Brown, who are your role models and why?
My first role models would be my parents. They've raised me. They have done their best in order to raise me properly, to give me necessary things that I need to grow and progress in life. And I'm very thankful for them. And some other role models would be other students, graduates from Morant Bay High School, such as Mr. Makai Ritchie, Kimani Esson, even Damar McQueen, because they have worked very hard. They inspire me to do my best and to put the school on the map.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Brand, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I think I would be university, maybe studying somewhere along the lines of software engineering development or mechatronics or something like that.
Okay, seems very interesting. What are your words of encouragement for students or your peers who are not doing well academically?
My first piece of advice to them would be procrastination is a killer. You need to put off things that you can do today, that you can do now. Need to read over and not wait until the appointed time to study for a test or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm. And I do concur. Which subject or class do you like best?
Well, at the moment, I think it would be biology right now.
Mm-hmm.
I also enjoy classes such as English language, physics. I think math is good also.
Okay. And can you share with me why exactly you consider those subjects your favorite? Is there anything that has sparked your interest based on the teaching approach or strategies of your teachers?
Well, as I said with biology, I really enjoy classes with Mr. Williamson. They're very engaging, they're fun, and at the end of the day, at the end of a class, I can definitely say I've learned a few stuff. So, yes, miss.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Brown, my final question to you today is, how is your experience at Morant Bay High School preparing you for the future?
My experience at Morant Bay High School has prepared me for the future academically, in the sense that I've learned a lot of material that will allow me to pursue the career that I want to, and also not academically in the sense like extracurriculars. I have participated in the mathematical Olympiad, I've done youth council, I've represented the school in track and field. All of these, along with in-class positions such as form captain and student council, have given me a lot of added skills, team work, leadership, public speaking. All of these I've learned and I've acquired and have practiced at Morant Bay High School, and I'm very thankful for all of that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brian. It was a pleasure interviewing you today. I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors.
Yes, miss. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
With us today is Miss Kadia Henry, the reigning top student for the 4th year group. Kadia, do you have an experience that has had a significant impact on your drive for success?
Yes, miss. So when I was at primary school, they had this Maths Olympiad competition in the children's zone, and I entered, but I didn't really know that I was going to make it. And the fact that I saw myself make it, I was really encouraged.
Right, Kadia, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay, in the next 5 years, I see myself pursuing a major in chemistry and a minor in education at the Michael University or the University of Technology.
Okay, Kadia, thank you for sharing that. Can you share with us a subject that you like? And why?
Chemistry. And, I have this drive inside of me, and my teacher as well, Mr. Watson, he really helped me out.
Okay, so you like Mr. Watson's teaching
strategies, yes,
strategies. So that has also caused or sparked an interest in chemistry. What advice do you have for your peers who are not excelling academically?
So for my peers, I would tell them to write down their goals and let their passion drive them to accomplish. And to remember that the race is not for the swift, but for those who can endure forever. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for speaking with us today.
Yes, Miss.
Wish you all the very best. With me today is Miss Shante Morgan, who is the top student for Lower 6. Miss Morgan, can you share with me an experience that you've had that you are most proud of?
Yes, well, last year I got the opportunity to go to the University of Berkeley, California. That was such a pleasurable experience. I got to meet different people from different ethnic groups and backgrounds. You had Asians, you had Caucasians. It was such a lovely experience being around that type of environment.
Okay, thank you for sharing. And I can tell you enjoyed that experience. Yes, all right, can you share with me how has Morant Bay High School, or how is Morant Bay High School preparing you for the future?
Well, I would like to mention the program again because when I went, when they were teaching, the teachers were teaching, I realized that half or 3/4 of what they were teaching, I had learned it at Morant Bay High School, so I was like, what, a first-class education may get at Morant Bay High School, man, so... So I can see how the education that I'm getting here will shape me for the future.
Very good, and I like that response. All right, my final question for you, Shante. What words of encouragement do you have for peers who are not exceeding academically?
Okay, so what I always do, because it's such a struggle to study because I can be so boring sometimes. So I always have to keep in the forefront of my mind that this is what I'm working towards, this is what I want to accomplish. So I guess peers can use that as encouragement or boost or motivator to say, I'm working towards this, so therefore I know that I have to study, I have to do this. And also what I used to do in lower school, I used to make these drawings in the corner of my book, like with exaggerated faces and stuff. And then I used to put in a very creative way what I learned in class. I used to summarize it and put into bubbles, saying, okay, I'm imagining this character saying this to me. So whenever I'm going over, it always helps. So what I'm trying to say is that if you have interest, you can always merge it with your study techniques to create something beautiful that that you want to study.
Okay, and that's a good recommendation, good words of encouragement. All right, thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you.
Finally, we have within our midst Miss Beyonce Taylor, who is the top upper sixth form student for the academic year 2019-2020. Miss Taylor, what accomplishment are you most proud of?
To be honest, I have several experiences that I am proud of. From first form, I've been on the honor roll. I've been getting subject prizes. I was the valedictorian as I gained 8 1s in CXCs, and I gained 8 CAPE subjects under my belt.
Okay, congratulations. All right. Beyonce, my next question to you is, how has your experience at Morant Bay High School prepared you for the future?
My experience at Morant Bay High School has prepared me for the future, as now I know that I should do the tasks as I get them going into college, less procrastination. And because of my community service and voluntary services, I am now more engaged in my community and surrounding.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I'll be working as an auditor at a reputable firm in Jamaica, as I would love to give back to my country.
So Beyonce, you have 17 subjects, which includes 15 1s. What advice do you have for your peers who are thinking about excelling academically as you have?
My advice to my peers is to, as they get the work, they should try their best to complete it. When it's exam time, study, 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 and best thing, trust and believe in God. Prayers work.
Okay, thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Wow. So many years, so much history. Thank you very much for those presentations. At this time, Mr. Mika Small will make an address.
My heart beamed with gratitude as I, Tamika Small, your Morant Bay High School PTA president, rise to say thank you to the Morant Bay Prize Giving Committee for having me on this platform to contribute in laying out the foundation for this ceremony. To our honorees, as the great Thomas A. Edison, man of great wisdom, stated, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time, and you have done this so far. Throughout this pandemic, you have shown that you are resilient. You receiving this prize has shown us your determination and desire for greatness. It is one more step in achieving your goal, or maybe enhancing it. Thank you for putting in the hard work. I know that St. Thomas is in a secure place. It is your resilience and your drive for success that has made this event possible. Because without your success and you setting your goals, there would be no prize-giving ceremony. I will close with this. Don't let no one or anything prevent you from achieving your goal. Just take tiny steps, and this one is such. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Small. Mr. Andre Nesbitt, the Student Council representative of the Morant Bay High School, will now make his address.
Greetings to all. I, Andre Nesbitt, as your Student Council President, feel extremely humbled given this opportunity to sit among such competent people. On behalf of the Student Council body, we would love to express our deep gratitude to the school administration, the auxiliary staff, every student that was involved in the running of the presidential election, and every individual inclusive of the Morant Bay High School family. Tremendous work has been done to create a progressive learning environment, despite the many challenges faced amidst this pandemic. The effort of our students have far outweighed the negatives, and it brings me great honor to congratulate the awardees of the academic year 2019 to 2020. Without fault, I want us all to understand that these students have not just represented their schools, but even their families. And personally, for me, that is an achievement that surpasses all thereof. And without failure, the students that have not attained the academic report which they so desire, the path does not end here. Success, my friends, is a long, never-ending journey, not a destination. Pave the way to success with God as your contractor. Use even our very own awardees as examples of pending success. And my beloved, as I'm about to end here, and I will quote a very wise man, Solomon, from Proverbs 1 verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Stay safe and work hard.
Now you see why he's a Student Council representative. Thank you very much, Mr. Nesbitt. Remar Bryan will now read for us a section of Scripture.
Good day. The Scripture reading is taken from Deuteronomy 31, verses 1 through 6. Then Moses went and spoke these words to all Israel, and he said to them, I am 120 years old today. I can no longer go out and come in. Also, the Lord had said to me, You shall not cross over this Jordan. The Lord, your God himself, crosses over before you. He will destroy these nations from before you, and you shall dispossess them. Joshua himself crosses over before you, just as the Lord had said. And the Lord will do to them as he did to Sihon and Og, the kings of the Amorites and their land, when he destroyed them. The Lord will give them over to you, that you may do to them according to every commandment which I have commanded you. Be strong and of good courage. Do not fear nor be afraid of them, for the Lord your God, He is the one who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. Here endeth a portion of God's holy word. Thanks be to God.
Thank you, Mr. Brian. No such ceremony would be complete without a guest speaker. Now, it is not my responsibility to introduce the guest speaker. No. I'm giving this opportunity to someone much more able than myself. Mrs. Charlene Hyman will introduce our guest speaker.
Hector Wheeler has over 30 years of extensive international experience in marketing, communications, and business development. He is currently Associate Vice President at the University of Technology, Jamaica, where he is responsible for the university's advancement portfolio, which includes corporate communications, marketing, student recruitment, events planning and management, alumni relations, the Center for the Arts and Museum, and Heritage Preservation. A proud graduate of this our esteemed institution, Mr. Wheeler completed a degree in communication, language, and literature at the University of the West Indies and a master's degree in business administration at American University in Washington, D.C. Hector was a highly successful marketing representative with Chevy Chase Bank and Mobil Oil in the USA. He also had a distinguished 13-year career in electronic media, having served the then Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation, the Dominica Broadcasting Corporation in Dominica, and the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation in Barbados in various capacities, including Assistant Director of Radio, Producer, Presenter, Marketing, and Sales. Hector also shared his passion for marketing with others by teaching marketing at the tertiary level. In addition to his full-time job, he offers consultancies and training in public speaking, communication, customer service, radio production, and marketing, and he's also a licensed real estate salesman. Mr. Wheeler is passionate about making the best of one's circumstances and building friendships one person at a time. He's married to Joy and has 2 children, Daniel and Desiree. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hector Wheeler.
Mr. Garth Russell, Chairman, the Honorable Marcia Bennett Costas Rotulorum for St. Thomas, Bishop the Reverend Christine Gooden Benguche, Board Chairman, Reverend Abbasilom Smith, Chaplain, Mr. Liebert Drisdale, Education Officer, Dr. Dalton Shaw, Principal, members of the Board of Management, my good friend Dr. Emerson Henry, a stalwart alumnus, members of staff, prize winners, students, parents, alumni, and friends. It is so good to be here. Dr. Shaw, Principal, thank you so much for your kind invitation. Congratulations to the prize winners today. Congratulations to my alma mater on the occasion of this significant milestone, 60 years of sterling service to the parish of St. Thomas, to Jamaica, and to the world. Our impact has been simply significant as we have made a global reach through the performance of our graduates. So I'm in the operating theater, and the surgeon is a Morant Bay High School graduate. My dentist is a graduate. I turn on the radio, I hear a graduate. My member of parliament is a graduate. I board the plane, the pilot is a graduate. Our footprints are simply all over. In the sciences, in the arts, technology, government, business, education, sports, and on the medal stand at the Olympics, in religion, security, engineering, and the list goes on. In this regard, I think we have made our founders proud, and we have so much to celebrate. I know the journey has not always been easy. There have been numerous hurdles, and the challenges have been there. Hence, the theme chosen today is so appropriate, celebrating our successes through thriving waves of change. In 1961, or rather, in 1961, St. Thomas was the last parish to have a high school. And so Morant Bay High School was a welcome change and had great expectations. My friend and classmate from the class of 1976, Johan Oliver, recalled Morant Bay High School has been a beacon on a hill accommodating children from all socio-economic backgrounds in one melting pot. Children from Surge Island and Duckenfield Sugar Estates, the business elite, professionals, teachers, farmers, police, a wide range of persons with children coming to Morant Bay High School. The students coexisted and thrived seamlessly, achieving great heights, bringing pride to the parish that was once forgotten. When I was awarded scholarship at Morant Bay High School, members of my family recommended that I go to Kingston College, as so many more opportunities would be afforded me. KC didn't work out for me, but I didn't mind. I was allowed at Morant Bay High School to participate in the National Schools Drama Festival on a few occasions. And from that, I received several newspaper reviews from outstanding critics. I won the Best Actor trophy in the National French Drama Festival when I was in third form, competing against the so-called Ivy League schools with students from higher grades. That was such a feather in my cap. That just boosted my confidence. Thanks to my co-actors in the play, Alice Colley and Paul Dixon. Then in the fourth year in high school, I was, at very short notice, asked to deputize, to be master of ceremonies for a big concert that was being planned by the school. This was because I was filling in for a popular radio personality who had promised to be there, but had to be absent at short notice. I rose to the challenge. I did my best. It was at that concert that my talent in broadcasting was discovered. Morant Bay High School did so much for me. I was afforded superior nurturing by principals, teachers, and a strong community of supporters, care, and genuine interest. And I'm sure that there are numerous other alumni who would say the same. I often reflect on the legacy of St. Thomas. St. Thomas struggled over the years to gain recognition, equal rights, and justice. The last parish to have a high school in Jamaica. The Paul Bogle story is etched in my memory. The rebellion against the establishment. Yes, many lives were lost, but many changes and improved conditions resulted from this uprising. The price of the present quality of life is simply not cheap and must never be taken for granted. For me, the Paul Bogle Rebellion bequeathed to us an indomitable spirit, a spirit to achieve against all odds. So let us look at our present realities. Here we are in 2020 with many challenges. COVID pandemic is with us. The rains came and made our bad roads worse. The earnings by many parents have been affected badly. There's shortage of food because people have lost their income potential. They simply can't afford it. Farmers cannot get their produce to the market to get an income. Students have to be reorganized. Our students' school arrangements have been dramatically rearranged. Teachers are challenged to embrace a new delivery mode that they were never prepared for. Some students were never attentive to the most effective face-to-face delivery in the first place. Now, a less engaging online delivery modality is simply a nightmare for many. So, there's chaos in our lives. But I want us to embrace a Chinese proverb which says, in every crisis, there's an opportunity. Let's take a deep breath. Calm down. Accept our reality. And look for the opportunities in these crises. Let us begin by developing a realistic plan to handle our situation. So classes are now being held online. How best can we take advantage of this opportunity? Can we have a study group in the neighborhood where we pool a few of us and study together online and do the homework together online while practicing physical distancing? How can our church or youth group be reorganized to address these realities? Can our farmers pool together and get support from political representatives and or other leaders in the society where they can organize a meaningful farmers market? I want to submit to us that the building of these networks can be the foundation of successful cooperatives. Perhaps at this time, it's a good thing. We're being forced to learn to embrace the importance of working together, of sharing and caring for each other. A reflection of our history can be of great inspiration to us. Remember, all of our fathers have been through worse. They were united in purpose, though, to right the wrongs in society. They fought fiercely, even gave their lives. My young friends, I am convinced that we can overcome these hurdles together. I'm also convinced that we can be successful in spite of the challenges. I am convinced that there are opportunities in these crises. Let us seek them out. Let us embrace our motto, Carpe Diem, seize the day. Seize the opportunity. Celebrating our success, thriving during waves of change. Your theme is really appropriate and an inspiration. When we look back at the years gone by, we can truly be grateful for the numerous successes achieved by the little school on the hill that has now created waves across St. Thomas, Jamaica, and the world. Yes, the road was rocky. Sometimes there was no road. We had to get around the roadblocks. We are determined, however, to fight against all odds, being blessed by the indomitable spirit bequeathed to us by our forefathers. In closing, I again say congratulations to the winners today. Be encouraged by your success. To those who did not win a prize but gave of their best, congratulations as well. Please continue to give of your best. I promise you, I assure you, your prize is on its way. For those who need to work harder, settle down. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunities afforded you. You too will be a winner in time. I wish to leave with you a charge from Victor Hugo, a French poet and dramatist who I studied right here at Morant Bay High School. Victor Hugo said, "Change your opinions. Keep your principles. Change your leaves. Keep your roots." I will never forget Morant Bay High School. And I encourage you to stay the course. Continue thriving during waves of change. Morant Bay High School, congratulations on your Diamond Jubilee and happy 60.
For years, I listened to Mr. Wheeler on the radio. Don't try to guess the age, but yes, I did listen to Mr. Wheeler on the radio. But now I'm understanding why he's no longer on the radio. He is at the University of Technology doing such a wonderful job. And the words coming from Mr. Wheeler are so inspirational. Thank you very much, Mr. Wheeler, for those very, very motivating words.
Tell Unu say a lot of God know them. Papa St. Thomas Yardel. There must be something he can do. How we are send out the messenger to Andrew. The bad road them. Bad road. You alone say them one you can't end. Them bad road. Yeah, Cross is here again. Can't smile again. My business spoil again. Cause we late to work again. Chairman try pass me again. Pop style pop me again. Cause we there from way back when. Waiting for the bus again. So here we are. We don't have no car. Can't pop no style. We business spoil. This kind of fuss. Make Christian cuss. When we have to ride on the blinking bus. Inna the bus, hey, hey, inna the bus, yeah, to the purpose. What's that driver? Driver, close up at all if you have a problem, and Mr. Honest, because the doctor, they come down with the money back and a bad face, please, to the throat all tired. Doctor, you know me just get robbed. The doctor say, the thing must stop. The doctor was the man, the man couple stop. Everybody find bus fare, and after that, we not general one man. Now when the crash no compensation, I want the dolly and buy. We have big fight to get inside. We have push it back. Love the pocket, no boy. Lord, what a piece of it. And this big fat thing from Shady Spring, cause I care about so much seed. So here we are. We don't have no car. Can't pop no style. We business spoil. This kind of fuss. Make Christian cuss. When we have to ride on the blinking bus, we bus and cuss. We have to ride on the blinking bus.
And now we are ready to present to the students of Morant Bay High School, the ones who have excelled academically, the ones who have done well overall. The transition from primary, prep school to high school can be a difficult one. First formers are usually quite nervous. The following first formers, they have adjusted well. And they have done well in their subject areas and overall. Today we have Miss T. Thompson and Miss S. Archer to introduce to you the students who were placed first and second in this year group, those who will be awarded according to their subject areas, and those who will be placed on honor roll.
First form, first and second place in form. These awards are presented to students who have obtained first and second place based on both mid-year and end-of-year examinations for the academic year 2019-2020. First place students will receive trophies, while second place students will receive certificates. 1M, Yesime Rowe, 80.4. Kivone Wilson, 78.5. 1O, Shanice Stewart, 83.9. Candice Buckley, 82.0. 1R, Nika Sons, 86.9. Javan McGraw, 71.7. 1A, Sutani Brown, 88.5. Brittany Davis, 81.3. 1N, Nadria Ribot, 78.9. Janelle Hitchman, 67.9. 1T, Odari McDonald, 89.7. Deandra Grant, 74.0. First Form Subject Prizes. These awards are issued to students who have achieved the highest average in a specific subject within their year group. 1M, Geography, Yesime Rowe, 87%. 1O, Basic Document Preparation, Candice Buckley, 90%. 1O, English Language, LaJay Davis, 93%. 1R, Religious Education and Visual Arts, Nika Sons, both 91%. 1A, French, Brittany Davis, 93%. 1A, Integrated Science, Sutani Brown, 98%. 1A, Physical Education, Female, Chardonnay Wilson, 100%. 1A, Mathematics, Kalia Thompson, 90%. 1N, Music, Nadria Ribot, 98%. 1T, Visual Arts, Kayla Wilson, 91%. From 1T, Odari MacDonald will collect for the following: English Literature, 91%. Spanish, 94%. Social Studies, 93%. Family and Consumer Management, 97%. Industrial Techniques, 93%. Physical Education Male, 90%. Thank you.
First Form Honor Roll. These are issued to students who have achieved an average of 75% or above in the mid-year and end-of-year examinations. Form 1M, Yemisi Rowe, with an average of 80.40%. Kivone Wilson, with an average of 78.50%. Rashid Brown, with an average of 77.0%. Kitana Davis, with an average of 77.70%. Form 1O, Shanice Stewart, with an average of 83.90%. Candice Buckley, with an average of 82.00%. Tashika Martin, with an average of 76.00%. Form 1R, Nika Sons, with an average of 86.90%. Form 1A, Sutani Brown with an average of 88.50%. Brittany Davis with an average of 81.30%. Shakira Francis with an average of 80.70%. Chardonnay Wilson with an average of 80.10%. Kayla Thompson with an average of 76.60%. Zari Gordon with an average of 75.20%. Form 1N. Nadria Ribo with an average of 78.90%. Form 1T. Odari MacDonald with an average of 89.70%.
Thank you very much, Miss Thompson and Miss Archer, for making those announcements for the first formers. Second formers are familiar with the school. They are familiar with the ins and outs and everything about it. They have been here and they know what to do. Miss A. Lee will announce the names of those students who have been placed first in this respective year group. We will also have Miss S. Archer, who will announce the students who have been placed on honor roll.
Second form, first and second place in form. These are presented to students who have obtained first and second based on both mid-year and end-of-year examinations for the 2019-2020 academic year. First place students will receive trophies, while second place students will receive certificates. Form 2M. First place, Cheyenne Miles, 68.4. Second place, Clayton Douglas, 66.5. 2O. First place, Shanice Scott, 84.9. Second place, Akelia Fisher, 82.3. 2R. First place, Alicia Walker, 78.1. Second place, Aisha Spence, 72.9. 2A. Keishari Bacchus, 63.6. Second place, Michaela Hall, 62. 2N. First place, Ladonna Mackenzie, 67.4. Second place, Bianca McDowell, 62.4. 2T. First place, Jerome Mullings, 62.8. Second place, Britannia White, 60.5. Subject prizes. These are issued to students who have achieved the highest average in a specific subject within their year group. Basic document preparation, Alexi Forbes, 96%, 2O. English language, Cheyenne Miles, 88, 2M. English literature, Theresa White, 94%, 2O. Family and consumer management, Alicia Walker, 94%, 2R. French, Charis Dixon, 96%, 2M. Collecting for both Geography and Spanish is Shanice Scott. Geography 94% and Spanish 81% from Form 2O. History Carl Christopher, 89%, 2-0. Collecting for both Industrial Techniques and Integrated Science, Laurel Duncan, Industrial Techniques, 91, and Integrated Science, 93, Form 2-0. Mathematics, Sharika Da Costa, 83%, Form 2R. Music, Aliana Gordon, 98%, Form 2-0. Physical Education Female, Cheyenne Miles, 93%, Form 2M. Physical Education Male, Tawanda Hilton, 87%, Form 2R. Religious Education, Theresa White, 96%, Form 2-0. Social Studies, Akelia Fisher, 94%, Form 2-0. Visual Arts, Alyssa Lawrence, 99%, Form 2-0. Thank you.
Second Form Honor Roll. These are issued to students who have achieved an average of 75% or above in the mid-year and end-of-year examinations. Form 2-0. Shanice Scott, with an average of 84.90%. Akelia Fisher, with an average of 82.30%. Aliana Gordon, with an average of 81.10%. Theresa White, with an average of 80.80%. Rihanna Williams, with an average of 80.60%. Carl Christopher, with an average of 79.30%. Alana Walker, with an average of 78.80%. Jacian Peart, with an average of 78.30%. Donicia Downey, with an average of 77.10%. Alyssa Lawrence, with an average of 76.90%. Alexi Forbes, with an average of 76.90%. Malachi Edmondson, with an average of 76.90%. Kimalia MacDonald, with an average of 75.80%. Kadeja Shaw, with an average of 75.40%. Form 2R. Alicia Walker, with an average of 78.10%.
Thank you very much, Miss Lee and Miss Archer, for the announcement of the awardees from the second form year group.
First and second place in form awards. These are presented to students who have obtained a second or first place on their mid-year exam for the academic year 2019-2020. First place students will receive trophies, while second place students will be given certificates. Third form, 3M, Kalissa Simpson, 52.4%. Jodian Brown, 51.2%. 3O, Danae Edwards and Romar Bryan, 87.2%. Second place, Janae Brown, 83.9%. 3R, Oral Grace, 78%. Second place, Adobe Pardon, 69.9%. 3A, Shante Gordon, 67.8%. Second place, Saeed Robinson, 67%. 3N, Melanie Atkinson, 57.9%. And second place, Racian Clark, 57.4%. 3T, Sandrine Marks, 56.8%. And second place, Matthew Dunn, 55.5%. Subject prizes for third form. These are issued to students who have achieved the highest average in a specific subject within their year group. English language, Danae Edwards, 84%, 3O. English language, Romar Bryan, 84% as well, form 3O. English literature, biology, chemistry, physical education, geography, we have Danae Edwards. 88% for English literature, 91% for biology, 91% for chemistry, 84% for physical education, female, and 92% for geography. Mathematics, Romar Bryan, 91%, 3O. Social studies, Romar Bryan, 91%, 3O. History, Romar Bryan, 95%, form 3O. And Janisha Harris, also a form 3O with 95%. Spanish, Malik Williams of form 3N with 89%. French, basic document preparation from form 3R, we have Oral Grace, 88% and 93% respectively. Business studies, Janice Johnson of form 3O with 91%. Physics, Janae Brown of form 3O, 90%. Agricultural science, Shenar Wright of form 3O, 100%. Visual arts, Daniel Walker, form 3O, 96%. Family and consumer management, Brianna Allen, 100%, form 3T. Physical education, male, Joel Colvington of form 3O, 88%. Religious education, Lola Brown, form 3T, 79%. And industrial techniques, Shenar Wright, 96% of form 3O. Thank you.
Third form honor roll. These are issued to students who have achieved an average of 75% or above in the mid-year and end-of-year examinations. Form 3O. Danae Edwards with an average of 87.20%. Romar Bryan with an average of 87.20%. Janae Brown with an average of 83.90%. Shenar Wright with an average of 83.20%. Daniel Walker with an average of 81.80%. Kishoya Watson, with an average of 78.70%. Kavesha Stewart, with an average of 78.30%. Julius Carter, with an average of 77.60%. Tonian Wilson, with an average of 76.90%. Janice Johnson, with an average of 76.80%. Release Francis, with an average of 76.40%. Malachi Francis, with an average of 76.20%. Theon Patterson, with an average of 76.00%. Nevia Daly, with an average of 75.80%. Janisha Harris, with an average of 75.60%. Rowana Samuels, with an average of 75.10%. Form 3R. Oral Grace, with an average of 78.00%.
Miss Northover and Miss Archer, thank you very much for announcing the awardees for the third form year group. 4 years of high school. Students are now settled. They have decided what they want to do. Well, most of them. They have chosen subjects that they like, subjects that they think they can do well at, subjects that will help them further their careers. The following students not only chose these subjects, but they have worked very hard at them, and they have been successful. Very successful, so successful that they are now being awarded by the school. Miss Newman will announce the students who were placed first and second, and Mr. J. Scott will announce those students who have been placed on honor roll.
Good morning, all. I will be presenting the first and second place awards for fourth form. These are presented to students who have obtained first and second place based on both mid-year and end-of-year examinations for the 2019-2020 academic year. First place students will receive trophies, while second place students will receive certificates. For 4M, the recipients are, for first and second place, Nigel Field with an average of 74%. Shanika Ennis with an average of 62.7%. For 4O, the recipients are Kadia Henry with an average of 85.6. Vijay Sutherland with an average of 85.2. 4R, Deandra Beckford with an average of 72%. Taim Fagan with an average of 71.3%. 4A, Shamika Scott with an average of 74%. Annalise Jackson with an average of 69.9%. 4N, Alicia Morgan with an average of 76.9%. And Sahelia Freito with an average of 59.9%. 4T, Larian Moore with an average of 65.6%. And Janika Jackson with an average of 65.4%. I will be moving along. to the presentation of subject prizes for fourth form. These are issued to students who have achieved the highest average in a specific subject within their year group. For additional mathematics, we have Vijay Sutherland with an average of 96%, and he's from 4.0. For principles of accounts, we have Vijay Sutherland with an average of 85%, and he's also from 4.0. Information technology, we have Sashana Morgan with an average of 87%. Chemistry, Sashana Morgan with an average of 89%. For social studies, Sashana Morgan with an average of 89%, and she's from Form 4.0. For social studies, Alicia Morgan with an average of 89%, 4N. French, Alicia Morgan with an average of 90%, 4N. Spanish, Dejane Brown with an average of 53%, 4T. Building and furniture technology, Richard Walker with an average of 75%, 4N. Technical drawing building, Ricardia Hollis, 89%, 4A. Technical drawing mechanical, Demaria Davidson, 84%, 4M. Electrical and electronic technology, Nigel Field, 87%, 4R. English language, Niku Rowe, 88%, 4N. English literature, Zane Robinson, 82%, 4O. Biology and physics, we have Kadia Henry with averages of 78% and 88% respectively from 4O. Principles of business, Annalise Jackson, 91%, 4O. Agricultural science and mathematics, we have Kadia Henry with averages of 87 and 95% respectively, 4O. Physical education female, Kadia Henry, 88%, 4O. Physical education female as well, Alexia Thomas, 88%, 4O. For physical education, we also have Michaela Brown, 88%, 4R. Physical education male, Robert Blunt, 88%, 4R. Mechanical engineering technology, Robert Blunt, 82%, 4R. Physical education CSEC, Alexis Ford, 78%, 4M. Textiles, clothing and fashion, Fadian Walker, 88%, 4N. Family and resource management, Larian Moore, 87%, 4T. Office administration, Larian Moore, 92%, 4T. Food, nutrition and health, Charlene Jackson, 98%, 4O. Geography, Michael Richards, 77%, 4O. History, we have Ramit Nicholson and we have Alicia Morgan with averages of 79%, 4O, both. Human and social biology, Everett Walker, 88%, 4O. Economics, Aliyah Williams, 77%, 4O. Electronic document prep and management, Aliyah Williams, 88%, 4O. Religious education, we have Ramika Morgan and Tarija Francis with 55%, 4M and 4N. And our final subject, visual arts, we have Fadian Walker, 88%, 4O. Thank you very much.
Honor Roll trophies. These are issued to students who have achieved an average of 75% or above in the mid-year and end-of-year examination. Form 4O, Kadia Henry, 85.6. Vijay Sutherland, 85.2. Sashana Morgan, 82. Anika Mills, 78.9. Janelle Millwood, 78.5. Everett Walker, 77.6. Carleen Jackson, 75.6. 4N, Alicia Morgan, 76.9.
Miss Norman, Mr. Scott, thank you very much for so ably making the announcements of the awardees for the fourth form year group. After the CSEC examination, one would think that persons would sit back and relax. Hey, I'm successful. But some students decide to continue their journey in education by entering sixth form, the CAPE examinations. Miss Hay will announce the students who have been successful in the various subject area in sixth form, and also those students who have been placed on honor roll.
These are presented to students who have obtained first and second based on both mid-year and end-of-year examinations for 2019 and 2020 academic year. First place students will receive trophies, while second place students will receive certificates. First place students, these include Shante Morgan, 6L1, 85.8% average. Celine McNair, 6L2, 74.7 average. Chrisan Jr., 6L3, 82.2% average. Beyonce Taylor, 6U1, 80.0% average. Dana K. Taylor, 6U2, 73.3% average. Students who will be receiving certificates include Anashe Jackson, 6L1, 75.8% average. Kimani Esson, 6L2, 71.8% average. Shamoya Lindsay, 6L3, 73.8% average. Abigail Monroe, 6U1, 74.8% average. And Kelicia Gordon, 6U2, 70% average. Presentation of subject prizes. These are issued to students who have obtained the highest average in a specific subject within their year group. These include Kaylee Holiday, Accounting Unit 1, Abigail Monroe, Accounting Unit 2, Judea Brown, Agricultural Science Unit 2, Jamil Lowe, Art and Design Unit 1, Tressan Williams, Art and Design Unit 2, Shamoya Lindsay, Biology Unit 1, Dana K. Taylor, Biology Unit 2, Rajay Smith, BMed Unit 1, Dana K. Taylor, BMed Unit 2, Michaela Miles, Caribbean Studies, Shamoya Lindsay, Chemistry Unit 1, Michaela Miles, Chemistry Unit 2, Drejanelle Sybil, Communication Studies Unit 1, Dejanay Marshall, Economics Unit 1, Ashley Whittle, Economics Unit 2, Shante Morgan, Entrepreneurship Unit 1, Abigail Monroe,
Entrepreneurship, Unit 2. Moya Felix, Environmental Science, Unit 1. Crystal Bailey, Environmental Science, Unit 2. Kelisa Gordon, Food and Nutrition, Unit 2. Dana K. Taylor, Geography, Unit 1. Aquino Parker, History, Unit 1. Michaela Miles, Integrated Mathematics. Shamoya James, Literature in English, Unit 2. Crescent Jr., Management of Business, Unit 1. Abigail Monroe, Management of Business, Unit 2. Kenique Martin, Physical Education and Sports, Unit 1. Sydney McDermott, Physics, Unit 1. Kimani Essence, Pure Mathematics, Unit 1. Michaela Miles, Pure Mathematics, Unit 2. Rachel Smith, Sociology, Unit 1. And Tresson Williams, Tourism, Unit 1.
Sixth Form Honor Roll recipients. 6L1, Shantae Morgan, 85.8. Anashe Jackson, 75.8. 6L3, Chrisan Jr., 82.2. 6U1, Beyonce Taylor, 80. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hay, and Mr. J. Scott for announcing the awardees for the sixth form year group. Morant Bay High School would not have been the success it is today had it not been for the assistance and the effort of many individuals. Some of these individuals will be shown some appreciation today. Also, students who are presently attending the school have done so well, that these achievements must be put out there. We have special awards in the areas of courtesy. We have the Rebecca Lewis Award. We have an award for the most improved student, the most helpful student. We have the Prefect Prize, an award for academic excellence, the Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year Award, the Community Service Award, and that is contribution to the school, the Community Service Award, service to the school again. We have finally the Alumni Chapters Awards. Mr. Kirk Moore will make these special presentations.
And now we have our special awards presentation. Courtesy Prize. This is presented to the student who displayed excellent manners and showed politeness and respect for those in authority as well as his peers. The awards go to Ramik Nicholson. Rebecca Lewis Award. This is presented to the student who attained the highest average in the first form cohort for the academic year. The award goes to Odari MacDonald. Most Improved Student Award. This is presented to the student who teachers agree has shown the most improvement in academic performance, courtesy, respect for authority, initiative, and attitude towards work. And the award goes to Rocky Prince. Most Helpful Student. This is presented to the student who displayed exemplary school citizenship through volunteerism, initiative, and willingness to assist. The award goes to Raquelmi Stewart. Prefect Prize. This is presented to the prefect who carried out his or her responsibilities dutifully, showing initiative, teamwork, and leadership. The award goes to Antonio Brown. Academic Excellence. This is presented to the student who attained the highest average in school for the academic year. The award goes to Odari MacDonald. Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year Award. These are presented to the students who performed exceptionally well in sports by displaying consistency and resilience in training and competition, as well as leadership within their team. First award, Marlon Campbell. Second award, Dacia Campbell. Champion House Award. Regrettably, because of COVID-19, we will not have this award for this year. Community Service Award. This is presented to an individual, group, or organization that has contributed to the school's projects, events through sponsorship and cash or kind. The award goes to Dr. Lincoln Ferguson. Community Service Award. This is presented to an individual, group, or organization that has given voluntary service to the school, helping to enrich the lives of students and staff, and ultimately helping the school to realize its mission and vision. We have two awardees. Mr. Dalton Small, for contribution during a time when we had a teacher shortage. Mr. Taros Riley, for sterling contribution to the All Together Sing TVJ competition, as the Morant Bay High School choir would have entered, and for soliciting and also assisting in our Career Day presentations. Alumni Chapter Awards. Special awards are given to the alumni chapters for their contribution towards the growth and development of this institution, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic period. They have contributed in the areas of technology, scholarships, and financial aid towards the teaching-learning process. Our first awardee, the New York chapter. They have given sterling contribution to the school. President, Mr. Charles Murray. They have contributed technology through improving the computer lab. They have donated branded masks. And they have also donated to our recording studio. The Atlanta chapter. President, Mr. Howard Jackson. They have assisted financially with data for students during the COVID-19 pandemic. They have also partnered with the New York chapter to contribute to the recording studio so that lessons can be recorded for students to view during the COVID-19 period. Class of 84. 5 laptops have been donated to the library. These have been used to assist the teachers in their delivery. Class of 99 contributed items and equipment geared towards assisting with the face-to-face reopening of school. They also donated KN95 masks, hand dispensers, projectors, and gowns. We do thank you for participating in the 2021 prize-giving ceremony. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moore, for announcing the special awards. Mr. Odari MacDonald, one of our top achievers for this year, will now give the vote of thanks.
Good day, Morant Bay High School family. Carpe diem. We have seized the opportunity, and it is now time to sail sweetly into serene sunrises with our prizes. Despite the lockdown, COVID-19 pandemic, and expensive, unreliable internet, I humbly greet our chairperson, Mr. Garth Russell, Mrs. Marcia Bennett, Custos Rotolorum of St. Thomas, Bishop the Reverend Christine Gooden Bengushe, Chairman of our Board of Governors, Reverend Abbasilum Smith, our school chaplain, Mr. Lebert Drisdale, Education Officer, Mrs. Ford Bryan, Intern Acting Principal, Ms. C. Johnson, Acting Vice Principal, Dr. Emerson Henry, Past Student, Mr. Hector Wheeler, Keynote Speaker, members of the Board of Management, teachers, parents, students, my fellow awardees, all in the audience of our new virtual space, I thank you all for making this day indelibly memorable. Yes, an attitude of gratitude normally propels one to an altitude far above the vices of destructive devices. Therefore, as your computers, smartphones, tablets prepare to switch allegiance to other spheres of virtual space, I ask you to help me end today's gigantic prize-giving ceremony in true Morant Bay High School climatic style. This would have been impossible without the guile and charisma of our articulate chairperson. Thank you, Mr. Russell, for adapting your mass communication skills to fit the virtual space we have provided. To the elite who brought greetings, Honorable Marcia Bennett, Reverend Smith, Bishop the Reverend Bengushe, Mr. Drisdale, Dr. Henry and our acting principal, the interviewees and persons who reflected on what Morant Bay High School was and is. We were warmed, charged, and exhorted by your wise words and will not wander aimlessly, but will be winged like eagles above the wind. To our keynote speaker, Mr. Hector Wheeler, you have immortalized many more elements of acumen with your erudite presentation. The virtual space continues to ring rites of thanks, and we will rise in action, fueled by what you have said. Yes, indeed, you have inspired us. We must also acknowledge the entertaining performances. You have added spice to the rice and made the main course much more delectable. The planning committee, chaired by the Visual Arts Department, for this propitious award ceremony deserves more accolades than my words can carry. However, I will attempt to convey sincere gratitude for how you have sailed on stormy tides of the new COVID norms to make this sunrise event possible. To all stakeholders who have, even in a small way, contributed to this function today, I say a big thank you. As I close with the thanks to our audience, I encourage you to join my fellow awardees and our families as we celebrate our achievements. You too can bask in the victory of hard work, because it takes just that, hard work. I close now, finally, with the wise words of Nelson Mandela. And I quote, "After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. End quote. Therefore, we will treasure the view of the sunrise from the top of the hill, then climb up to the next. Thank you all. Carpe diem.
Now you see why Mr. Odari is a top student at the Morant Bay High School. Thank you very much, Mr. Odari MacDonald. From the days of the checkered green uniform to what we have today, the green and white tunic. Checkered green and jippy jappa hat. Do you know what a jippy jappa hat is? Well, you can do some research. The boys wearing short pants and green khaki. Who could get our boys to wear short pants to school today? No one. But the Morant Bay High School has so much history. And as you celebrate 60 years, 60 wonderful years, it was indeed my pleasure to be the MC for this prize-giving ceremony. While I am not a past student of the Morant Bay High School, I feel as though this place is in fact home. For I have so many family members. My wife is a past student. I have aunts and uncles that are past students. I have co-workers who at some point attended the school. As a matter of fact, a very good friend of mine was one of the first students to have blessed this hallowed institution. And he gives me the history as much as he can remember. He will tell me, Garth, those days we only had first and second form. And when I was leaving, that was when they introduced third form. He tells me that when he was here, there was just one building. He says to me, those were good days. And so as I listen to the history and as I listen to all the presentations, it just builds in me a great sense of pride to know that this institution, this great institution, an institution that has produced so many persons of great note, Olympians such as Gillette Cuthbert, Hansel Parchment, radio personalities, well, popular personalities such as Dion Jackson Miller. We have scientists, lawyers, persons who have contributed to the Jamaican society, to the Caribbean society, and to the society worldwide. St. Thomas. We can no longer say forgotten, but we can say the parish that will be a beacon in Jamaica. I thank you for this opportunity, and I wish you all the best in all your endeavors. Let us now stand for the national anthem.
As a past student of Morant Bay High School, I learned values of honesty, integrity, organizational skills, punctuality, and Those are some of the values that I have taken with me throughout my life. And as a teacher, I try to ensure that students also have those values, insisting that they arrive to school and to classes on time, giving assignments with due dates to help them with their organizational skills, time management. Those are good soft skills that students from Morant Bay High School are known for, and it helps them to get jobs throughout the world, and they are doing wonderful just like myself.
Some of the core values I learned while attending Morant Bay High School is to have dignity for your peers and for your teacher. Must have respect. And I learned that you must be dedicated, never give up, always going and be strong and always have your head, hold your head high, and to be hardworking. I like the teachers, my classmates, because they are very thoughtful and considerate. Well, my current life that I'm living gives me a drive, it motivates me.
What will the present administration of the Student Council body do to help our students cope in this pandemic? The sad reality is that this pandemic has caused many disasters in our students' lives. They have financial problems, socioeconomical problems, academical problems, emotional problems, and a variety of problems. My administration is tasked with two main things: empowerment and health and social assessment. What do I mean by that? In order for students to achieve the best there is, they need to be empowered. They need to feel as though they can achieve it. They need to be confident. My administration will decide to contact persons, successful persons, and past students too, from around the country to speak to our students, to empower them, to help them engage in particular activities so that they can be more confident and more comfortable in this pandemic. The second thing, our health is very important. And if it so be that the government will allow students to come back to school in January, we want to first have a database of our students' medical history. And we'll send out questionnaires, surveys, to really grasp the type of status, health status, medical status that our students are now in. Those are the main plans that we are going to focus on, and whatever else there is, we will inform the students and anyone else about it.
I became vice principal or acting vice principal of Morant Bay High School on March 1st of this year. Some days later, Government of Jamaica closed all schools because of COVID-19. So I consider myself the virtual platform vice principal because I had to work very hard to ensure that the online platform was ready for the students. I'm most satisfied because we were able to do it. As a team of persons together at the school, management and teachers alike, we were able to put a plan in place to ensure that the students continue their education. And what I'm most proud of is that at this point, I can proudly say that over 95% of our students are actively engaged on the Google platform. So I'm very, very proud of that achievement as someone who is new to the game. But let me say to all persons who are getting awards today, you did well. We applaud you. Continue to work hard and to excel. And for each level of your life, please continue this effort because the sky's the limit for you. Congratulations.